You are being programmed.
Last night, and full of flowers in my feet. I went to bed last night, and I was in my feet. Woke up this morning, the police were taking me.
In this video, I want to get to the bottom of what is L-even or L-even. I've been talking about 11 for so long, so in this I want to show you what L-even even means, the etymology of that, and let's get to the bottom of it if we can. Now let's start at the beginning. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Genesis 1:1. What do we see? We see the doorway, the L-even, even Genesis. Remember, Janus is Genoa, so it really goes this deep. Let's see if I can make sense in this video. Right, let's have a look at some more. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. John 1:1. Remember, Janus is a derivative of John, or John is a derivative of Janus. 11 again. In Greek, the word for beginning, origin or source. Right, I'm not telling you what it is just yet. And later, first principle or element. So it's a significant word that we're going to come up with for all this. Means first place, method of government, empire, realm, authorities and command. What is this word? It is arch or arche. Can you just see how significant this is, guys? If only we knew a God of arches and a God of beginnings who associates with the number 11. Oh, arch in gematria adds to, you got it, 11. God of arches in gematria is 101. Again, the doorway, L-even, 11. Oh, let's just add Janus to this. Janus, God of arches. 1, 2, 3, 5 adds 2. You got it. 11. Who? Janus is the Roman god of beginnings. It's like it's all planned. It's like I've found something. But no, we'll just say it's a coincidence. Here's another verse with beginning and creation. Just look at the number. You have laid the foundation of the earth from the beginning. Remember, beginning is arch, so it's the earth from the arch. And the heavens are the work of your hands. Hebrews 1:10. Another L-even. So in this video, I want to try and explain what's going on in this crazy head. Show you the etymology, like I've said, of L-even, because a lot of people have been talking about that in the chats on my premieres. So guys, buckle up, use your discernment, because you're gonna need it. So the Tower of Babel or Babel is significant, right? I've done a video on it, the Great Vowel Shift or the Babel effect. The story is meant to explain why the world's people speak different languages. So you can see how significant it is. Babylon, right, was where people sought to build a tower that reached to the heavens, the realm of the gods. So the Lord said, if as one people speaking the same language, they have begun to do this, then nothing they plan to do will be impossible for them. Come, let us go down and confuse their language, so they will not understand each other. So a bit like a kid with Monopoly. Now, have a think. So when was this significant moment in time first mentioned in the Bible? Yep, you got it. Genesis 11. And while we're on Mesopotamia, Babylonia, it reminded me of this. Now remember King Nebuchadnezzar the second, but it looks like an 11, doesn't it? That's what always made me laugh. Of Babylon sets up Zedekiah to rule Judea. He lasts 11 years, so it's a significant number again. Now another significant moment is the finding of the Dead Sea Scrolls. Now you might think they're fake or real, it doesn't matter, it's still a significant part of his story. Can you remember just how many caves they were found in? Now this got me, it absolutely blew me away. 11. Yeah, 11 caves. They were found in 11 caves. Now there's something huge on this that I'm going to touch on a bit later on that will tie it all together, and it'll just seriously blow you away. So there's 11 caves. Oh, the Dead Sea Scrolls in Gematria add to 137, which is 11. Are these just coincidences, or have I found something, or is it pareidolia in number sense? It could be anything. I always admit this. Lazarus of Bethany being resurrected appears in John 11. Remember, John is a derivative of Janus. The Apostle John saw 11 things in connection with the final judgment, and that's in Revelation. Right guys, here's an old video. Basically it's an old clip from the doorway effect. So Logos is tied to the word, right? And remember John 1:1, which blew me away. It was both Janus and his number 11. In the beginning was the word. That, as we know, is Logos. And the word was with God, and the word was God. So whatever the word is God. Now what I found is not only just shocked me to my roots, I'm just like, no way. I can't believe it. So as you know, I like working with words. So I looked for the anagram of word, and the best one I could get was DORW, because it really sounds like door, like a little accent. And people always talk about Idrisil as the tree. Well guys, this will blow you away. The Proto-Indo-European word for oak is DORW, door, and that became the word for a door. So the oak is a doorway between worlds, as it lives between the worlds. Tell me that isn't wow. And as I've shown you in previous videos, Janus is also known as the oak, and I am the door now makes you think, wow. John is Giano, is Janus, and Janus is the god of doorways and is tied to the oak tree. Could you not get any more wow than that? So the word translates anagrams into DORW, door, and that was the old name for the oak tree that got made to be used as what we say now as a door. So I've connected the word of God to the door. Just wow. I'm still wowing guys, I'm just so excited. I'm like a little kid. So guys, like I said earlier, both the word and beginning translate to arch and door, who are both connected to Janus. Now the first king of Sumeria was also the first god of Sumeria. He was a deified king named Ia, and he was known as Lord of the Flood, which equates to 11 in Gematria, or Lord of the Deep Waters. The name Ia served as the basis of all god names, and obviously it goes through the god names that I'm just talking about, with the Ianos, Uranus, Uranus, Janos, Allah, Yahweh, Yahweh. So you can see the significance of this. Well, guess what? The Greek numerals for 11 is IA, which is number 11. So, like we always say, and I say, how many times can you say something is a coincidence? The so-called saying is that the universe doesn't make mistakes. It's not a coincidence. But look at it, archway, doorway, and God. That is only a Freemason symbol. They got all of them together. Now look at the compass and the square. It's 47 degrees. That adds to 11. And the patron saints of Freemasonry are none other than St. John the Baptist and St. John the Evangelist. Two St. Johns. John is a derivative of Janus, and they have both Johns representing the 11. One of the oldest symbols in Masonry that no one really knows. I have a good description on it, and I'll show you in a little bit later, but it's the pillars. It's the 11. You can't get more in your face. Some people say it represents the Godhead, the circumpunct, the pineal gland, enlightenment. Look at the pineal gland. It's got 11 letters in it. That's a wow. But if you want to say the pineal gland, let's say the pineal gland. In gematria, it adds to 11. But what joins them all together? Oh, Manly P. Hall says, in occultism, the pineal gland is regarded as a link between the objective and subjective states of consciousness, or in exoteric terminology, the visible and the invisible worlds of nature. In the religions of the Latins, it was therefore referred to as Janus, the two-faced god and keeper of the gates of sanctuary. This divinity was the antitype of St. Peter, who succeeded him as a warder of the heavenly portals and who carries the two keys of the office, one to the golden mystery of the spirit and the other to the silver mystery of the body. How wow and in your face is that? And I've been saying that and been showing that for years, and no one is talking about it. So the Dead Sea Scrolls are known as Gnostic, right? And I talked about how some believe that symbol that I showed you before is about the pineal gland, this one. Now some believe it's linked to Gnosis. Well, isn't it funny that Gnosis adds to 11 in gematria? But some might say let's put Gnosticism in instead. Gnosticism also adds to 11. Crazy that, isn't it? Now the most famous ones are Pythagorean and the Cathars. There's a few others, but like the Cathars, the Pythagoreans believed the divine souls were trapped in a corrupt material world, and that the ultimate goal was to break the cycle of reincarnation and return to the celestial realm. They also practiced asceticism and vegetarianism and initiated women. Catharism probably wasn't a direct descendant of Pythagoreanism, but they did share a common root in Gnosticism. Gnosticism is more philosophy than religion or cult. There's pagan Gnosticism, Christian Gnosticism, even Jewish and Islamic Gnosticism. Gnosticism holds that the key to enlightenment and salvation is knowledge, gnosis. Rather than faith or grace, illumination allows one to achieve union with the true divine through the realization of one's own divine nature. Although this isn't exactly what Cathars believed, but you can see the similarities. So you can just see that about Gnosticism. I'm going to show you something now that blew my mind. So this is how modern interpret knowledge. Knowl, edge, facts, information, skills acquired by a person through experience or education. Now, most of the people know that knowledge comes from Gnosticism, and I'll briefly describe that here now. So, what is Gnosticism? At the most basic level, the terms Gnostic and Gnosticism refer to the belief that is rooted in special knowledge. The term gnosis is where we get the English word, the word knowledge from. Gnosticism is a broader sense about a religious view based on a claim about knowledge. That is what Gnosticism is. Gnosticism. Oh my god, tongue twister. But I want to split it up. I want to do what I do best. Look for alternate ways, spell etymology into words. And what's coming up now absolutely blows my mind and tells me what I've been saying all along. The rabbit hole is Janus. Yes guys, you heard that right. Knowledge is Janus. Now just listen to this. Gnost, I'll split it up, remember. Gnost is an energy that has not been used in eons of time. And as Gnos comes in, it bridges the divine and the human. And as a creator, you allow Gnos to flow in. Instead of being bound and restricted by problems and challenges, you simply allow Gnos to come in to present the clear and open the solution. That is Gnos. So obviously, instead of knowledge, I've done Gnost. Right, so you can quite see it there. It's talking about the flow of knowledge and the creator allowing you to flow in. Isn't that beautiful? For me, it really is blowing my mind. And wait to see what ledge is. Honestly, it's like you can't make this up, and it's just coming up right now. But as I'm saying, guys, the rabbit hole. When we say we're falling into the rabbit hole and you're looking for new topics, it's the flow of knowledge. You're looking around for knowledge, aren't you? Basically, new topics, new things to go wow at. It's one half of knowledge, which is Gnost. So, ledge, Middle English denoting a strip of wood or other material fixed across a what? A door, a gate, etc. Perhaps from the early form of ledge, since one dates from the mid 16th century, the Great Vowel Shift period. But what was that? The ledge is fixed across a door or a gate. Who is the god of doorways, gateways, portals? So knowledge could be Gnost, ledge, knowledge, and it gives you that type of information. I, for one, am absolutely blown away, and just making this video, finding this out, is worth the hours that I've put in. So knowledge is basically talking about how the flow of information, the flow of light, the flow of knowledge, information, binary, whatever you want to call it, knowledge is the flow, and it's basically, as it said here, in my eyes, pointing to the direction of knowledge. The rabbit hole is Janus. So you got the Kabbalah tree of life on the left, and as you can see, there's only 10. Now most of us only think of it as being 10, but when you start researching it, and I include myself in this because if it wasn't for Session on the Nile, my old co-host, she actually sent me stuff the other day while I was making this, and I didn't want to say I'm making a video on 11, but when she actually told me what number it was, it blew my mind. So as you can see on the right, there's another Seraphot being added, and that is Da'at. Never heard of it before. Now Da'at is the location, the mystical state where all 10 Seraphots in the Tree of Life are united as one. That's wow. Jewish sages call it Da'at. You can also spell it Da'ath, roughly translated as knowledge or consciousness. So the word for knowledge or gnosis is Da'at, and it's the Seraphot number 11. Tell me that ain't wow, just to add to what I've done so far. So Da'at also means knowledge about things outside of one's self. What do the Cabal evil use? They use data to find out about ourselves, our habits, etc. But just look at the word data. It's only an anagram of Da'at. That surely cannot be a coincidence to find out about oneself, and Da'at is data. Wow, that just blew me away. So we're just talking about Da'at and data. This famous meme that someone made just blew me away even more. Now I'm talking about Da'at and data. That moment you realise you're just a piece of data carrying information as you move through a circuit system that has been designed to siphon your spiritual energy. It's just more wow now, since I've just showed you that, and spiritual energy is obviously your Da'at. That is just the Hebrew version. Obviously we're talking about knowledge and whatnot. But if you think about it, I'm going to show you a clip from an old video, because I've done a few videos on circuit boards, arches and Janus and 11 before, and some of it now, while I'm talking of the realm of 11, you're just like wow. So when you go back and you was nearly there, and now you can see you've just took that little bit more, you just travel down the path, and it makes more sense. So what in the clip that you're going to see, some of it is like the writing bit is fast, but I do read it out, and it's talking about the etymology of circuit, obviously circuit board, and electricity. And in that I'm talking about, it means the realm, the jurisdiction of, now we know it's the realm of 11, because obviously arch, it means realm, doors, beginnings, everything is connected to the 11 and Janus. So this makes even more sense now, and also encompasses the symbol of the Freemasons that I showed you with the 2 St. Johns, which represents so many things. Here you go, guys, here's the video clip now. Etymology of circuit. Circuit, a circumference, a periphery, a line going around an area, a space enclosed within a certain limit. Electrical sense, arrangement by which current is kept up between 2 poles. Between 2 poles? Looks like Masonic, doesn't it? A current is kept between 2 poles. That's the number 11. So let's go over the etymology again. Circuit, a circumference, a periphery, a line going around an area. So possibly a circle. From circa 1400, as a space enclosed within certain limits. Sounds familiar. So far it's a circle and it's enclosed. Electric sense, arrangement by which a current is kept up between 2 poles. So picture an electric current trapped and enclosed by 2 poles, 11, moving in a circular pattern. Can you picture it? Here's a clue. It's one of the oldest Masonic symbols. And here's a few seconds for you so you can actually have a little guess. And here it is. 2 poles, an electric circuit trapped in between the 2 poles. That is what I see. It's just blown me away. I've talked about it for a long time, this symbol, in regard to circumpunct Godhead knowledge. But if you actually just put it into perspective in regard to the etymology that I've just shown you, it just makes perfect sense. 2 poles trapped with a circle of electricity in between. So there's many theories on it. Even the Masons admit they don't truly understand what it is. One theory is that you are the dot and the lines represent virtues, vices, etc. Some say that the point in the circle refers to the circumambulation a new initiate is required to make about the sacred altar. To them it's sacred law. I believe it's us trapped in a loop, in a circuit, a motherboard. Sailing the current, the currency, the currency. The electric current of life. So before I spell etymology electric, I held a definition back on circuit. So, space enclosed within certain limits, hence district in which any business involving periodic journeys is done, especially of judicial assignments involving the journey of a judge from one place to another. Spell etymology of electric. Now this is when it gets wow. Electric, L godly, ECT object or and so forth, and rick jurisdiction or district. So electric means this place, object is a jurisdiction of God. Tell me that ain't wow. The following is just me thinking out loud, so bear with me. Remember this, I've not long talked about it. Could this be this? To me it does represent the same thing, and we're talking about the double Uraeus and the divine. It's a divine symbol for Ra, Wadjet, so much when it's got the wings, without the wings. There's so many things it can equate it to in Egypt. But as you can see here, we have the electric symbols for source. Are you seeing what I'm seeing? I believe they are very, very similar to source and to these symbols. 2 poles, 2 lines and a circle either side. to me, DC current, AC voltage source, they are the same. That is just my opinion. Now, the reason I'm thinking like this is because, look at this. AC DC in gematria equates to 11, and we know whose number is 11. I'll go a little bit deeper. AC DC source, 92, 9 and 2 equals 11. Now this got me thinking, could Janus be the alternating current? Because as you can see, 9, 11, 9 and 1 and 1 equals 11. And we know alternating means more than one of two or more things. Now Janus has more than one face. Could it be the fact that Janus is the AC current amongst so many things, and he is trying to displace the direct source from our curator? He's trying to hijack it like a program out of Tron or the Matrix. It's just a thought. See what you guys think. It's a wow, isn't it, guys? You just basically saw the word for arch here and what that meant. I mean, it looked like arch, but obviously origin, first principle, element, government, empire, realm, authorities, etc. Then you just saw the etymology for circuit and electric, basically showing you it's an enclosed system, and electric means jurisdiction of L. And I'm showing you about the L11, the realm of L11 and Janus. It just blows me away, and that was an old video from the circuit board and Janus. And now I'm tying them together and actually making a bit more sense for you guys and myself. It's just opening the doors, no pun intended. But come on, you have to be wowed at that. They're both etymology, well, all three etymologies matching, and it's so far apart. Hopefully you're enjoying it, guys. By faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible.
In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw the light, that it was good.
So before I was showing you a lot of 11s in regard to creation, and L11 because it's significant. Anyway, the first 11 chapters of Genesis, the first book of the Bible, tells us about God and the stories of creation. The 11. Bible in gematria adds to 38, which is 3 add 8 equals 11. Adam and Eve, the great flood, and Noah's Ark, the Tower of Babel or Babel, all connected to Janus and the 11 as I've shown. So obviously the picture's creation of Adam. Look, 38 equals 11. Noah equates to 11. And I already showed you Lord of the Flood equates to 11 before. Just a coincidence. So, Catholic Church has 73 books in the Bible. Protestants have 66. These are the canonized ones. So obviously there's loads of more, as we know, from the Gnostic ones. But that was so close, so I thought, could it be 74? Now the Douay Rhymes Bible is a translation from Latin Vulgate to English and counts a total of, yep, you got it, 74 books, which is my 11. I just thought I had to look, it was a 74 in one because it was so close. Just seems too close for comfort, as they say. So, as I've shown you countless times, the doorway, etc. is 11. What if I told you that the word door in the Bible is in 173 verses? That equates to 11. How crazy is that? Judas Iscariot and the 30 pieces of silver. A big moment in the Bible. 30 pieces of silver in gematria add to 11. Wow. So he regretted it and he tried to give the silver back at the last hour. This period of time has a name. What is it? That'll give it away. It's called the 11th hour. That's the latest possible time before it is too late. Oh, I wonder what that is in gematria. Oh, it's 11. So remind me, I think there was 12 apostles. 12. Let's take one away, any random one. That leaves 11. So, how crazy is that? That moment in time reduced the apostles to 11. Just a coincidence again. I love saying that word because I know people are screaming. So this is the 10 Commandments. We can all agree. You know, I could have picked any image to show you. Now, these are a set of biblical principles relating to ethics and worship. So they're important, like the laws of God. What's ironic is there are actually 11 statements in the Bible, in the Bible text of traditional 10 Commandments. That blew me away. 11 laws for 11. Now, the Roman Catholics combined the first two statements into one, and the Protestants combined the last two into one in order to arrive at the number 10. It's just crazy. Now, I might be wrong, but I think these appear in Exodus 21:17 is where the commandments are mentioned first. That adds to 11, guys. 11. Now, talking of 11 commandments, the poster thing is named after Janus and has loads of 11s. So as you can see, gates in Latin means potas, which means January, which is Janus. Anyway, Bill Gates equates to 254 in gematria, which is, you got it, 11. Well, this is how he said he made his money. There is no secret, I simply showed my plan to 1,200 people. 900 said no, and only 300 signed up. 85 actually did something, but only 35 was serious. Then it went to 33, that number, but 11 made me a multimillionaire. 11. What's the odds on that? And when he got married, I know he's divorced now, but his anniversary tweet, he got married on the 1st of January. That's no coincidence. Janus's month. Melinda Gates is 11 in gematria, but people will be saying she's changed her name now, Paul. Melinda French Gates still adds to 11. People will be saying, Paul, they're clones. The Gates are cloned in gematria, adds to, you got it, 11. Windows 11, the new operating system, was announced on June the 24th, 2021. That date adds to 11. What's the odds on that? So this could be seen as a stretch. His birthday adds to 11. Now if you just take it the first one, 28th of October, 28 add October, which is 10, is 38. That does equate to 11. But I wanted to see if I could make his full birthday into 11. Now if I went off that premise as October being 10, it didn't add up, and I'm honest, this is a stretch. But as you know, October, oct means 8. So if I use 8 instead of 10, and you add 2, add 8, add 1, add 9, add 5 equals 38. So 38 is 11. So we actually do both ways. If we just did his 28th of October, still 11. But it wouldn't work for 11 for the full birth date. But if you use October and, ancient times, it does actually equate to 11. Now guys, this got me. Bill Gates' net worth of 2022, according to Forbes, is 122.6 billion USD. That's an 11. That's 1 add 2 add 2 add 6 is 11. Even his net worth this year equates to 11. What's the odds on that? That's all I have to say. What's the odds on that being 11? So to a certain few, don't get triggered when I mention this. So the solar cycle is a cycle that the sun's magnetic field goes through, and it goes through this approximately every 11 years. Keeps popping up. Should be in the video about 11. And there is an 11-day difference between one solar year and one lunar year. Crazy, isn't it? That 11. It'll be going on your brain. It's going on mine, isn't it? And a normal year has 365 days. A leap year has 366. That extra day is on the 29th of February, which is 2 add 9 equals, you got it, 11. Now what you're seeing here is, because Janus and the 11 are, you know, associated with each other, Janus is known as the sun and the moon. Now in the periodic table, you can see you got gold and silver, because that represents the sun and the moon. Now in gematria, AU, AG, yep, you got it, it's 209, which is an 11. So you can just see how deep this 11 goes. And remember, gold and silver, obviously AUAG, in regard to the Vatican keys, which we'll talk about now from an old video. It'll blow your mind, guys. Right guys, now I'm going to talk about the Vatican in the 11s, but to get the flavour right for anyone who's just watching it for the first time, basically Janus, number 11, Janus was basically the first pope. He was the first key bearer, as you can see from books. You can go and research it yourself, you'll find this the same as what I've found. He's also known as Noah. That's how significant Janus is, and why I do the research I do, to show people the significance of basically Janus and Noah. So as we know, the Lateran Treaty was an agreement signed by the Vatican and then King of Italy, King Victor Emmanuel III. More 11s, just a coincidence. The treaty recognised the Vatican City as an independent state under the sovereignty of the Holy See. Mussolini, the king's representative, signed on, you guessed it, the 11th. The date was the 11th of February 1929. The Pope was Pius the 11th. Yeah, you got that. 11th was the king, really. It signed on the 11th and the Pope was the 11th. And in gematria, the Lateran Treaty adds to, you guessed it, 11. So that's a bit of a wow for me, showing you just all the connections so far between Janus and the number 11. Most of you will already see it in a few of the videos, so I had to compile them into one, just so people can actually see the significance of it. So the Second Ecumenical Council of the Vatican, commonly known as the Second Vatican Council or Vatican II, the 2 looks like an 11 basically. It was set up to complete unfinished tasks of the first council and basically to outreach and address any of the modern needs. Its opening was in Rome on the 11th of October 1962. Again, another 11. And because in gematria you can't put numbers in, you have to write them down as letters, I put in Vatican II, it adds to 128, and you guessed it, adds to 11. So this is showing you the significance of 11 and Janus on this realm, and this is why I wanted to put this video together to show you guys. Here we have the 2 keys, synonymous with the Vatican and the Holy See. One the spiritual power, one the worldly power, held together by the cord. I believe that cord is the vocal cords, the voice of God, holding the 2 frequency keys, silver and gold. As you've seen before, silver and gold in the periodic table, AUAG. In gematria, those 2 equate to 11, Janus's number. Cannot be a coincidence that, as you can see, 209 equals 11. Now, when you picture 2 keys together, what do you see? I'll put on the screen now. For me, they represent the number 11. Each key representing number 1. And if we move it along, I've put 2 number 1s together to represent the 2 keys. For me, they're identical. Obviously, it's just my opinion. But also, if we remember from an old video, 11, as you can see in the screen, will make another famous symbol linked to the church. Yep, you got it, a cross. Is there any coincidence? Who knows? I'll leave that up for you, great guys. I've just showed you that it makes 11, does a cross, but in gematria the cross is 74, which is, you got it, 11. Hopefully guys you're enjoying this video, because it's just blown my mind when I put it all together. But yeah, as you can see, it's a wow. And since that old clip of the Vatican that I just showed you, I found out the Vatican is about 110 acres, which, you got it, is another 11. It's just mind blowing. It really is. Right, this is where it goes deep. Now everyone will saw this meme. It's called a double slit experiment. Now I'll give you a brief description of what it says on the meme. In double slit experiment, when an electron is passed through two slits, it acts as a wave and produces an interference pattern similar to light. But when a detector is placed at one of the slits and the electron is observed, it behaves like a particle and interference pattern is not produced, as if the electron knows it's being observed. So this blew me away, and it's also known on the meme as observer effect. It's like reality is changing when being observed. That's just blew me away. And it's not like the double slit experiment adds to 11 in gematria by any chance. It doesn't. That's just a coincidence. Now, to go along with this, what's the 11th sign of the zodiac? And I'll give you a few seconds. Most of you will know, but you know, bit of tension in the air. So the 11th sign is Aquarius. Now you know where I'm going with this, because you can see the double slit and see Aquarius. That is the 11th house. It's the same. Now, and it's an accident, and it's accidentally in the month of January, Janus's month. That's just pure accident. So if we turn the Aquarius symbol round, what does it resemble? Oh yes, the 11, just like the double slit experiment. Although it's known as the water bearer, it's actually the last earth sign. Now, the animal associated with, obviously, Aquarius is the owl. And obviously we have Bohemian Grove, etc. And all the owl occult symbolism. It just blew me away. Now, that got me to thinking of my old video that I made, Oculus. It's on the Black Sheep Research Odyssey channel. Check it out. In there, I used the Latin converter and I split Oculus up. And it came to OUL nobis. So I found out that OUL actually is an obsolete form of the word owl. That just absolutely blew me away, and I found this absolutely ages ago. You know, anything I come up with, people tend to ignore. I don't know why. Maybe because it's bottles, but hey. Anyway, so nobis means the world belongs to us, which equates to 11 in gematria. So Oculus split up means owl, obviously, and the world belongs to us. And remember, it's an L11, the realm of L11. So these buildings that we're seeing on the screen are generally in capitals or important places. Now, when they have an opening in the roof, these are called oculus. So a modern one would be oculuses. And in gematria, it adds to 11. Now, the symbol that looks like from above is like the circumpunct with the dot, the circle. But in that old book I've just got, the open eye of God, the pure pose of revelation, and God said, let there be light. So the circle and the dot, that's what, according to that book, that represents. So we're talking, it's interesting, isn't it? And I talked about the cross. In the sign of the cross, God and earth are combined and are in harmony. From two simple lines, a complete sign has been evolved. The cross is by far the earliest of all signs and is found everywhere, quite apart from the conception of Christianity. So, two 11s in harmony form the cross. So, but you could look at it in a lot of ways, really. So I thought, you know what, let me have a look at one on its own. And I had it in the book. The vertical stroke represents the oneness of God, or the Godhead in general. It also symbolises power descending upon mankind from above, or in the opposite direction, the yearning of mankind towards higher things. So what is two singles together? Could that be we're not in harmony? And here's, listen to this one. This has just blew me away. In the horizontal stroke, on the other hand, we see the earth, in which life flows evenly and everywhere moves on the same plane, even. The realm of L11. Even. Let's have a look at the etymology, basically, for what this video is about. This L11. What could it mean? You guys will get it already. I've just mentioned a few of it already. L is something classed as godly, like, or Elohim, more than one god. Even means a lot of things, but this stood out to me. So there's loads of things it can be even. If you type it in, you'll see. But this stood out because of everything else I've told you today. Old English, effing level, flat, also equal, like calm, harmonious, equally. It's like the equal sign. But we look at the equal sign And let's change it round. What could it possibly be? Oh yes, the 11, but also Aquarius. So you can see how it all fits in, guys, can't you? So could it mean in general the flat, equal, even plane of God, or this plane belongs to L? There's so many other things it can be, but this video is all about the realm of L11, and I think it's been a mind blower. I mean, just look at the old sign that the Freemasons read for knowledge and God. 2 11s and the Godhead in the middle. Let there be light. Light is knowledge. But they've been showing you forever. I mean, hidden in plain sight, like Baphomet, alchemy, solve et coagula, solution and coagulation, components, elements, what I've mentioned already, being synthesized into a new substance and of the heavenly, therefore manifesting into the earthly. What's he got in his hand? Well, he's got nothing, but what number? You could say 2, which is even, or could it be 11, as above, so below, or equals, or Aquarius, if you put it on the side. I mean, just look at it. You can't get any blatant in your face than the 2. It's telling you the realm of L11. I mean, look on his stomach. It's got the caduceus, which I've covered a lot. I mean, it's not like that equates to 11 in gematria as well. So you can just see the video, and I'm just getting to trying to get to the bottom of it, and this is just a start because I can't fit everything into one video. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, guys, and I'm going to go into my thoughts now. So let's see what I can say in there that'll ruin everything I've just done.
Yeah, they call me the black sheep. You know they call me the black sheep.
Hello and welcome. Right, guys, firstly I want to say happy birthday to my brother from another mother, which is Steve Wheatley. He's in the chat, so please everyone show him the love and wish him happy 52nd birthday. He had it in the week, so you know what I mean, I'd like to put this in because obviously I couldn't do it last week because it wasn't his birthday in the video I did. So please wish him happy 52nd birthday, show him some love. He'll appreciate it. Right, guys, so move on to the next one. Next, thank you for everyone who's buying me a coffee or buying me a toupee, as I call it. It's humbling, it's a surreal, and I just want to thank you everyone that is contributing. Like I said, the link's going to be in the description, so thank you. It's just so appreciative because in this time of need when no one's got anything, I do appreciate it. People have been crying out for years for me to do it, and I've been resisting and people have been calling me shills for not having something like this, and you know what, I gave in. So thank you to them people, and anyone who can't, please just share my videos, share my name, share the channel. You know, that's one way of helping, and that's what a lot of people have been doing, and it's just humbling, guys. You don't realise how much you sharing my video and my content out is. To me, it's humbling. It's like, why are people doing it? You know what I mean? So I'm just thankful to have the support of you guys. Right, onto the video. It's like a part 1, and I've been at this since the last video, and I could have kept going on and on and on. And like I've been saying, I need to know when to stop, when to break films up into different part films, because I'm gonna be here what feel like forever, because as soon as I put something else in, me ideas spark, and then I find something else that goes with that, and then I find something else that goes with that, and then this 1 minute clip is turned into 10-15 minutes, and so on and so on and so on. So I had to stop. And I said to Steve today, I'm gonna have to stop because when it is enough, and so I have to do my thoughts as well and briefly talk about that. And for anyone new, my thought section is just where I show my face. If I've not showed it in the video, say thanks and briefly go over the video and anything else that's, you know, caught my eye in topics. So the video, the realm of L11. People in the chat, and you pay homage. I've been saying for a long time, breaking it up. Paul 11 is L11, which we know. But when you you know, and it's like a lot of things in the community, when you think you know, and you don't look at it because you already think you know, you find out that you didn't know. Let's rewind and see if that makes sense later on in the stream. So yeah, I didn't look at it, obviously, because I knew L means it's something godly and even 2. But I didn't know what it meaning flat and realm and plane, and how that correlated to old etymologies. I'm getting excited and out of breath here. Can't, Paul? Get on with a brown bag. The etymologies of circuit and electric being the realm of L and the jurisdiction of L. And they're all videos. Do you know what I mean? It's like a lot of people forget some of the stuff I do. It's always, you know, talking about Janus a lot and different things, but I've done a lot of videos. There's some deep stuff and talking points in the videos. And now when people are, you know, waiting for a video because I'm a slow ass, are starting to go through my back catalogue and are surprised. Sometimes it surprises me because I forget how many times have I made a video and nearly touched on others and I've already made it. It's because, you know, I use this as an online diary. For instance, this video, I didn't talk about mem, which means water, from the Phoenician and Egypt days, and it's the same symbol assigned to Aquarius. And in gematria it equates to 11 too. So I didn't even put them in, but they're in all the videos. So what do you think, guys? Because, like I said, I've had people in the chat talking about L11 splitting it up for a long time. And I've done all these videos on Janus, and obviously the evil and the connection to 11. And I've done, like I said, I've done the circuit board videos where I'm actually talking about what I am now, but didn't have a name for it. I'm from constantly touching on topics. I sat there last week and a voice in my head, 11. I don't know if I watched the old clip. There's an old clip from BBC Scotland. If you want to watch it, it's easily done. It's type in elevator, floor 11, BBC Scotland, something like that. And it's a famous clip of 2 Scottish guys screaming at a voice recognition in an elevator, and they want to go to floor 11. And I must have had that in my head, or must have watched that, because 11 screamed out to me in my head. So I looked into it, the etymology, and that, the realm of 11, came into the fact. I was going to call it the land of 11. But when I was doing the video and looking at all videos for some more, you know, research on the 11, I found my old etymology of circuit and electric, because a lot of people talk about this in regard to this realm, and it all points to the realm of 11, the jurisdiction of. We're talking about how the etymology of it basically described a circle disc with 2 poles, and obviously from above it, it would be, you know, like this, or like, you know what I mean, or like that with the 2 dots. But you know, you get what I'm trying to say. And that's the old symbol for the Freemasons, which they don't really know. And it talks about how that was used in initiations. Well, Janus is a god of initiations. And then people are saying, well, why all these 11s, Paul? Why find all these 11s in regard to Janus and all this realm? Because if you don't know, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you'll see a lot of them. So if you're on Twitter, please type in @WhatTheFlock_TV. You'll find me. And I put stuff in there that doesn't go in films, or sometimes it does. And the 11s that I found or find are mind-boggling. It's used in the media a lot, and it's like this question that we always ask: why Janus? Why did he worship him? And then you're talking about the frequency. You're talking about because his connection to the Vatican, the heavenly and the earthly keys, not just the X, but also the 11. When we put all this together, it was just screaming out the realm of 11, Now, this is a stretch, and when I do a stretch, you know what I mean, it's just, I think out loud. Some people don't like you doing things like this, but tough to tease. I don't care. It's my channel. I use it, to get my thoughts out, and I like sharing it with like-minded people. You know what I mean? There's ways of saying, that's a stretch, Paul, without being, impolite, but hey, it's just a community, what it is. So think about it. El could be Elohim, and I don't pretend to know the Bible inside and out, and I don't pretend to know a lot. These are just my thoughts, and I'm putting ideas together. And for instance, have you ever watched the film Chariots of Fire? And Eric Liddell, the guy who won't run on a Sabbath, and I don't need to be told Sabbath is not on the day. You know what I mean? This is why we do things. People always seem to ignore the 99% of the film to hone in on 1% to tell you, listen, I'm always wrong. I'm human. I make mistakes. I just get on with it. So in the film, he talks about how he runs, and he runs fast. He feels closer to God. When I research, I feel closer to God. I feel this is what I'm here to do. Now, it might sound corny to some, but it doesn't. When I'm really hitting it, and I hit something on the nail as such, I get tingles all over, and I get really emotional. And it's like I feel, go for it, Paul, go for it. And that's what I did on this video. The people can say, oh, sacrilegious. That is your own insecurities. I've had people like attack me because they say they have to defend their faith. You know what I mean? It's just crazy when people are so stuck in one track mind to not see what we're all parts of creation. Do you know what I mean? And we all have our own thoughts and musings. But I feel close when I'm doing this. So when you start to when you research Janus, I've had, like I said last time, I've had big friends of this channel, subscribers, I like to call them friends, message me and say big channels laugh and don't want to look at Janus because he's just Roman. Well, if you look at it, you'll find it's a bit more than that. And that's putting it politely. So think about it. If and why is everything seems to be connected to Janus? I didn't even put in about the time that we was in lockdown. All those 11s. Maybe that's a part 2, part 3, because I'm starting on the path. And I don't want to cram. I was getting to think of, I'm going to try and put it all in one film, but there's just too much information in this. You know what I mean? I get carried away. I just like showing you guys what I've been working on, and I feel honoured and humbled that you watch what I'm thinking and trying to get out. So I don't like letting you guys down. I'm like, I've not been here for so long. Here you go, guys. And I like to make it worth your while to come and watch and give up whatever free time that you have. So it's humbling, and channels don't give the recognition to you guys that you deserve. It's just humbling. It's surreal at times. So I've always done the stuff on Janus, and I wanted to think of why is it Janus, and I've talked about it in different videos, but not really. And now this realm is the realm of El-Evan, Janus, many faces, like the Elohim, many gods. People said it could be demiurge. We just don't know. Where do we get the information from? We get it from you. We get it from books. We get it from the internet. And when it's all pointing to Janus being in charge of this realm, I mean, you talk about Gnostics, you have so many different heavens, and there's a different angel or angle in charge of every heaven. And when we're talking about electric and circuits, and it's this jurisdiction of El, it only points to what I'm trying to get at, the realm of El-Evan. And when I research and find that in Italian and then Latin, John is a derivative of Janus, and in the beginning was the word, and it's John 1:1, and then that the patent saints, the two pillars, the 11s either side of that old symbol, are both Johns. And you come to the conclusion, wow, you're onto something. And this is what I believe I am with this video. All these 11s in the Bible, I mean, yes, we'll get some wrong, because I'm human. And sometimes you do get pareidolia when you see things. Or, like that bit I've put in about the observer effect, the double slit experiment. We've all seen that meme. And we've all looked at it and looked at it, yeah, doesn't it make sense that when we're observing, this realm acts differently? But it's double slit. It's equal. It's Aquarius. It's 11. Then you go, what the flock? Think about it. People are telling you about this reality changing in front of their eyes. This realm acts differently when it's being observed. But what if? What if light that I've talked about is knowledge? The more knowledge that you learn, the more levels that you grow, this reality reacts different to you because you know you have the key. So when someone says to you, Paul, I've just saw this, I've saw the portal, I saw things changing in front of my face, they have learned so much and their reality has changed around them. The double slit experiment, the observer effect. Tell me that's not a wow. I mean, how many videos have I said that in? The more you know, this reality changes. And that's when people talk to me about what realm are we in. And you guys know, I've been saying for so long, it all depends on what you know. If you're brainwashed, I'm indoctrinated from an early age, this reality reacts different. It reacts to what you know. You don't have the key, the frequency key. So if they say it's this, you see what it is. It's just a wow. I mean, when I'm talking about the things in regard to this realm and stuff, and some people get triggered when you mention planets and different things, I mention it because they have cast that spell and they want you to see that. Yet that spell equates an 11, because the jurisdiction of this realm to them is called 11. And it's just wow. I'm really excited about this because it's like I'm putting everything that I've learned into a video, and that's what I tried to do, but it gets 3, 4, 5, 6 hours, and then even me, I'm like, oh shit, I'm making a video. All the Bible verses in regard to creation are 2. 11. Now you can say that's 2, that 2, or is it equals, or is it Aquarius, or is it 11? L11, is it the doorway? 2 doorways, like the keys. My mind just explodes. It really, really does. Like I said, I didn't talk about CERN in this video. I didn't talk because I was going to talk about how obviously CERN's 11, but there's a CERN that's opening. I don't know when it was because I was going to look at it, and it's in New Jersey, which is New York, the 11th state, and it was called Light or something 2, which looked like an 11. But even from the beginning, like the beginning, the Greek word for beginning, the origin, first principle, like the archetype, element, government, empire, realm, authorities, arche, arch, arc, archetype. Who's the god of arches? Who's the god of beginnings? It's Janus. And that's why he equates to all these other names. That's just the key to how I found everything. It just absolutely blows. It blown mine, guys. It feels like a weight off my shoulder that I've got to it. Now, some people, pardon me, and will know, you're doing that gematria wrong, Paul, or everything adds to 11. We'll try it. Everything doesn't add to 11. If it did, that would prove my point even more. These are just points that connect to Janus and the research into what they're trying to push. For instance, I didn't include all the 11s. Like I said, I found, if you want to see some of them, it's crazy the amount of 11s in the media that they're pushing. For instance, the shooter on July the 4th had, I think, 74 tattooed on his face. Equates to 11. Now, other channels will say, I'm talking Swahili, as we used to say, or it doesn't make sense. Well, exactly. We all see what, that double slit, basically. Doesn't mean I'm smarter than you, just I'm just seeing different things than you. And you guys are seeing different things from me. That's why we need communication. That's why we all have to... Oh yeah, I'll have to put a post-it sign. Itchy me eye. No Masonic sign. Because people are getting so paranoid because they're watching all these doom and gloom channels saying the world's gonna end tomorrow, but buy a book for $29.99, How to Survive. You know what I mean? People just need to, relax. It's a bad enough realm that we're living in. We're all doing our bit. You shouldn't turn on each other. There's people who I don't like. I could actually expose, but I'm here for myself, my family, and you guys. So, you know what I mean? I love the interaction that we have. And people understand that we can't all agree, but we respect that difference. And the people who try to cause mischief and trouble are just trolls or people who just don't get it. We're on a different level to them. And they will never see it. But that doesn't mean they're wrong. They're just seeing what their minds are letting them see. And that's what this Janus research, people thought it was losing it. I got ridiculed. And then when more and more people are talking about it, but people can see I wasn't, being crazy. So I wanted to keep my thoughts quite short because I wanted to let the video talk for itself. And it's warm and I've got a lot of stuff to do, obviously personal wise. And I didn't want to go over the video in regard to, what you just seen. I wanted to let the video speak for itself. And you can see all the 11s. Stuff that I may have gone more into, for instance, is the signs in the book. But that was just like a little teaser to show you, what I'm on about. Think about like the mathematical signs. You have times. You have plus. You have divide, God, us. You know what I mean? So it is ridiculously like I'm onto something. I mean, you've only got to look at some of them, the Bible verses that I've put in, the 11 commandments. And it says, I didn't know that. I just knew it was the 10 commandments, the laws of God, though. And there's actually 11 statements, and one set of church, melted together 2 to create 10. But the ones that they did was, according to the site, it could be quite wrong. But when I saw that, I just like, woohoo! The 11 laws. And that's what I went to. Now think about it. Now we talk about Elohim being in many gods. I believe that's what it means. And obviously people have different interpretations. Some get, like if I said this realm is this shape or use that map, there's people that get triggered because I'm saying use that map. Do you know what I mean? When now you can see how long I've ever made a circuit board video. No one's talked about that. Yeah, it fits everything perfectly in between the two poles. The 11. So think about it. And this is the stretch. Elohim. 11 of him. That was just me. Doesn't make sense in regard to, you won't find it out there. But Elohim, 11 of him. Heaven, 11. So, it feels like I've just had a lot of weight taken off my shoulders. It really does. And now I can see the light in the sense of, you know, where I can go with this theory that I've had for a long time. Because yes, I've had Janus and I've made a lot of videos and I've showed you how everything is in, you know, hidden in. But they're matching it. They're trying to use that 11 because they know this realm is 11. 11 is there 11 heavens. I know there was 7 in regards to some things, and could it be were there 11 vowels? Because there was 10, and some people said there's 12. You know, so information changes. Information is gold, binary. Even the Fibonacci sequence, it's the 2 previous numbers. Well, it starts at 0 and then goes 1 1, but a lot of it, when you type in the Fibonacci sequence, will show you the first 2, which is. So, where do we go? And this is what I want to enjoy. I want to see where this takes me. What else I can find? What else will people say in the chat that I miss? Because that's what happens. People want to tell you what you've missed. Not just because they want to show you how smart they are, because they want to contribute to, you know, me and the channel. And then that gives me ideas. It's crazy when you think about it, isn't it? All this that's gone in, all my etymologies for circuit, electric, describing this realm. And it all ties in. It does, doesn't it, guys? There's someone doing some work outside. So if you hear something, it's just someone outside. I'm not going to re-record it. I mean, look, I want to pause. What is a pause? It's that symbol. It's 11. It is crazy. I mean, like I said, I showed you a brief of them books. And on the first pages, it's some of them symbols that I showed you. I mean, the dot, there's one of the posted on Twitter. The dot, some people said how it looks like the cube of Saturn. It says the dot is the origin of which all signs start. It was with the idea that Masonic lodges of old expressed the secrecy of their guilds by means of the dot. What's the internet called? You put in the web address and it's always .com. And we said what com means and commerce. And there's that horizontal sign that talking about, could it be the different planes? And that was basically saying in the horizontal stroke, on the other hand, we see the earth in which life flows evenly. And everything moves on the same plane. I mean, the Sumerians, Eden means flat and even. Just blows you away, the vertical stroke. And the cross of St. George, that's everywhere. And regard to Janus, it's always with Janus. Now I know what it is. It's the heaven and earth. Is that when we're in harmony? Or is it when they harmonise us? Are we not supposed to be in harmony with that God? So it can go both ways. And it just absolutely blows you away. I mean, stuff I didn't put in. When you listen to this, type in. I'm back. the book head in my hand pressed pause on my computer. I'm like, I said, I don't notice the dot. It's not red anymore. No! How long have we been off? So, for instance, like I was saying, type in earth symbol. And you'll get a circle with a cross. And you can see it right there. And in here, you can see their opinion is it's more than that. Because a lot of symbols mean many things. And this is talking about as the male element pervades the female. So creation takes place. Since everything belongs to the living world, is compounded, or the confluence of male and female. In remote ages in the East, and also in early Northern mythology, this sign of the wheel, because it's a wheel, is also cross was symbol of the sun. But think about it, it's also the cross, and it's also the 11 in the circle. And in the circle, you can see the circle. The circle being without beginning or end. It's also a sign of God or eternity. Moreover, it contrasts with the next sign. It's a symbol of the sleeping eye of God, the Spirit of God moved upon the place of the waters. So you can see how intriguing that book is. And like I said, remember, these are all just people's interpretations and opinions. But how many people now watching this video will see 11s everywhere? People even say, I see 11:11 on the clock. Because, like the observer effect, I'm noticing. But it goes against, for instance, the reality knows you're watching. But when you've got that different frequency side, you can see it when it's not supposed to be. No, you know, it's hidden in plain sight because it's actually hidden in sight. It just absolutely gets you going, and then it gets your juices, creative juices flowing. And I know I'm onto something. And obviously this is just in my own opinion. But when people are saying, Paul, look at these channels, you know, it's, you watch it and you're like, you don't see it. And people will watch this channel and not see it and thinking, what is he on about? And that's everything. We're not meant to know each other ins and out. You know, people have been watching me for ages. Don't agree with everything, agree with most things, but they'll have their own spin. For instance, Matrix. Neo the One, Room 101. Follow the White Rabbit, which is associated with Janus and 11. So there's loads I didn't put in the video. For obvious reasons. How long do you go? How much information do you put in before people go, okay, it's 11? And then lose the grasp of the video and the really good things that you've touched on. And that is why when I was making it, I got up to that bit and something inside of me said, stop. And that's what I do. Have it round up, and I can make them into, I can do future videos on it when I get more information or I want to portray more. So it's just intriguing, isn't it, guys? And hopefully you've enjoyed the ride. Some of you have been from the beginning and will know some of my old videos, like the Oculus, that's on me Odyssey. And if you want to go to Odyssey, just go to Odyssey, type in the Black Sheep Researcher, and it's on there. It's one of the videos that got took off, and it was talking about the Oculus in regard to secret societies, and also the building that was built in the Trade Center complex, and all the, you know, stuff that's connected to that with the Oculus and the eye. I'm finding out, because it only twigged to me, like I said, I did that video years ago, that the Oculus split up, obviously made the owl, all the owl symbology that there is out there, and finding out that the owl, for some reason, is associated with Aquarius. Remember my last video, we have Janus, the Bank of England, he has an eagle, and he has an owl. So, you know what I mean, it's a wow, the earth sign, but we all know it's a water bearer. Water is memory. That was the 11. I didn't put the CERN stuff in, like I said before. So there's loads that I've left out. I didn't put in all the things that I found in regards to that time. Again, I've mentioned. So there's a lot of things that I've put out, I've not put in, and could expand on. It's like the first foray into the realm of 11. And I think I've just about done enough on it. And you'll see, why is 11 connected to creation? Because now you know from that, the male and female is the cross inside the circle. Male and female. Creation, obviously, and you know what I mean? And all of the Bible verses, Judas Iscariot, 30 pieces of silver. He wanted to give it the silver back, but it was too late. And in that time has a name, and it's called the 11th hour. Now, some people believe it's in regard to something in the Bible about picking of grapes. But it's still, the saying is, you know, it's the last possible moment you have to make a decision or try and fix it. It's the 11th hour. And he didn't. And obviously, he killed himself, if I remember. And that left 11 apostles. How crazy is that? And when I say coincidence in my videos, in the chat says, Paul, there's no such thing as a coincidence. Mother Nature, this universe is never that lazy. So we always find our connections. And in this video, I believe I've done it, guys. I was teasing with you a lot in midweek when I posted on the community posts saying I believe it's one of my best. I do believe it's one of my best. I believe I'm getting to grounds now where I'm not just exposing, but I'm coming up with a theory for it. I'm showing you the etymologies behind it all. People say it's a circuit board. Boom, there's the etymology for that. This realm is this. Boom, etymology. It seems to fit what everyone is saying. And it's all tied to L11 or Janus, because he goes by many names. It's just mind-blowing, guys, and I'm just glad I've got someone to come along with a ride, and it's you. Unfortunately, it's you guys. So I want to call it a day because it'll be well over an hour. Like I said, it could have gone for longer and longer. I'm talking. I will do a live soon, I promise. If you share this video quicker and it gets a lot more views, I'm heading close to 1 million views for just over a year, and that is mind-boggling. So I think I might do a live when I get to 1 million views as a thank you. You know what I mean? I don't do as many lives as I should, but it's just hard, unfortunately, you know, to my constraints. But don't think I don't appreciate you guys, and this might expand on other people's theories, because every other channel will have a different theory and a different theory. When people message, oh, well, you should look at their theory, why don't you message them to look at my theory? It's not because mine's right, but I believe it's fresh and it's incorporating what a lot of people have said. I mean, I did the circuit board video, it must have been over a year ago. I did the original one 2 years ago, and I compound on it because you have arches that people are putting into their videos. Well, who's the god of arches? And obviously transformations and transitioning, because the symbol of transition is Baphomet, the Elias, you know, the modern one. So you can just see how I've come and I've grown. I'm getting more confident, and I'm bigging myself up because I work hard on these videos. When you work hard, it doesn't mean you should go viral or nothing, or you should, you know, get heaps of praise. I've just saying I've worked hard and I've put the effort in, and now I'm getting not recognition, because it's not all about recognition, but like I said, we do all have an ego, and we do like to see that the thought that you've had in your head is not crazy. It's not about, oh, you going, I'm getting bigger. If you had an idea and so you just told someone in the street and they laughed at you, you wouldn't tell that person again. But if you told someone in the street and they went, wow, that's made me think about something else, you've done something, you've woken someone up, you've showed someone something hidden, and then they will look on, and this is what we're all here. Me saying certain things triggers other people into thinking other things. And now to know this realm is 11, the 11, and it also means flat and a plane and equals and Aquarius and all the other signs. It makes bloody sense. But again, like anything, combine that with the observer effect, and you're like, wow. So there's like end of party 1. I don't know if I'm going to do part 2 straight away or go on to another topic. I just don't know. I'll see how you guys think of this. Hopefully people have not took it the bad way, because obviously when you start talking about some of the stuff in the Bible, people do get defensive. When I'm not here to trigger anything from that type of view. If you've been triggered, it just means you're indoctrinated and you're not open to people having an opinion. Don't have to agree with it, you just have to respect people looking and seeing different things. So the realm of L11 from 11, and obviously all the Janus connections make so much sense now, doesn't it, Guy? That's why you had that ritual by the first person, you can, that's what say, if I say the first person died, people who triggered, oh, well, it didn't actually die, it's not actually a virus is not actually alive. So you can see the point. I'm just telling you from a point of view, the ritual of that pandemic. The first person to said die was on January the 11th. I've showed you that years ago. And people look at you like you crickets when you show them these things. But we know, guys, we know. So, guys, thank you for your support. It truly means a lot. Thank you for all the people that's contributed to buy me a coffee. And also, but more importantly, wish Steve in the chat happy 52nd birthday. Oh, I just love you guys. Take care. I'll see you in the chat. And let's see how this one went down. Take care. Bye, guys.